welcome back. We're on Unit 2 now, which is Future is Now. And this week we will study the rise of technology. And for the first topic, we will be studying the lightning rod.
So here do now, what do you think we show you a $100 bill?
So a $100 bill is also called a Benjamin in the US. And so we'd really like to, we'll be focusing on Benjamin Franklin from the United States.
So what can you do if the electricity cuts out?
Okay, so think about when the lights go out and it's late at night and gets dark. What is the first thing that you do? Okay, so you could. The first thing that comes to mind is lighting a candle or some sort of fire, and also the fan's off. So you use a book to give yourself air. Mm-hmm. But if your phone already has battery, then you can use it. But otherwise, it becomes difficult to use our daily life, just to live a daily life without electricity.
Imagine you cannot play games for a week because it's connected to electricity.
Okay, so the purpose of today, we will be studying about lightning rod. To be able to present data in order to understand events of the past and explain causes and results of electromagnetic force by collecting the terms related to electricity from learning sources.
Vocabulary.
So the first is inventor. So to understand inventor, you have to understand invent, which is the second word. So invent means you create something new that does not exist before. Okay? So electricity, if you're able to figure out a copper wire can carry electricity, okay, then and you make a wire and cover plastic around it, then that is invention. Okay? Your mobile phone, your computer, they're all inventions because before they did not exist. So the person who makes these or creates these machines is called the inventor. Okay, so that is inventor and invent for you.
The last one, discover. Discover is the verb. If an inventor can discover something new, so like Benjamin Franklin, he discovered that the lightning is electricity. He discovered something that nobody knew before.
But just one thing to add here, discover is something that already exists but nobody knows. Okay, so like teacher said, he discovered that lightning is electricity. Lightning already existed, so that is why it is a discovery. Okay, if you find a fossil of a new dinosaur, then you discover the fossil because it was already there.
Does anyone know why Benjamin Franklin is famous? So why is he on a $100 bill?
Okay, so Benjamin Franklin was the founding father of the United States. Okay, here you can see the United States being built from scratch. First, it was only a few countries on the eastern side. So if I look here, the US was only this much. Okay, but as time grew, they started buying more and more territory, and eventually this whole piece of land became the United States of America. Okay. Benjamin Franklin was the founding father of the US of A.
So let's watch a video to know more about Benjamin. So open your notebook and enjoy the video.
Benjamin Franklin. If you're lucky, you may recognize him from the $100 bill. Franklin was an inventor, an ambassador, and was considered by some to be the greatest founding father of America. But Franklin's original claim to fame was actually that of a mad scientist. Born in 1706 in Philadelphia, Franklin was famous for flying a kite in a storm to prove that lightning was electricity. His work regarding electricity made him famous around the world. Along with discovering electricity, Franklin also established the first public library in America, ran a printing press, wrote Poor Richard's Almanac, invented the bifocals and the Franklin stove, was the first postmaster general, received multiple honorary degrees from Yale and Harvard, and he established the first volunteer fire department in the Americas. But even with all of these creations, plus more, Franklin's greatest achievements came from his influence in founding the United States. Franklin is often considered to be the first American, not only because he was the oldest founding father, but because in 1754 he created this comment, which suggested that if the colonies didn't join together, they wouldn't last. In 1754, the colonies joined together against French and Native American forces. Soon, it would be against England. King George III had sent a lot of British troops to face these French and Native American forces in America, and it cost him a lot of Benjamins. So he had Parliament get together and establish a series of taxes, or acts, that would be levied upon the American colonists to help replenish the royal reserves. This included things like taxes on sugar, printed materials, and even decrees that forced colonists to house British soldiers who remained in America. It wasn't long until Franklin was chosen as a delegate from Pennsylvania to go and try to put an end to these taxes. He spoke in front of Parliament, ultimately declaring that the Americas would not stand for taxation without representation. Well, his wonderful ideas fell through pretty quickly, and Britain continued to exact more taxes from the colonies. By the time the Tea Act was passed in 1773, a group of colonists decided to take matters into their own hands. A group of men called the Sons of Liberty dressed up like Mohawk Indians and threw almost 100,000 pounds of British tea into the Boston harbor. Needless to say, Britain wasn't happy about this Boston Tea Party. Britain retaliated, launching the Coercive Act, or Intolerable Acts as they were known in the colonies, and the colonists had had enough. War had broken out by April of 1775. On July 4, 1776, the American colonies declared their independence. Benjamin Franklin had a key part in editing the Declaration of Independence. The United States finally overcame the British in 1783, and likely could not have done it without the arrival of French allies. And while Benjamin Franklin never fired a shot in the war, he may have played the largest role, as he was the French ambassador who helped secure an alliance with France.
Hey, so welcome back from the video. So just to give you a few interesting facts and points about Benjamin Franklin. He started exploring electricity in 1746. He did not discover electricity because people knew it existed. However, he was able to prove that lightning is electricity. And a lot of his experiments helped us to learn about electricity. He also studied about ocean currents, common cold, and refrigeration, all of which was related to electricity. And he also helped to launch a library. So he had a big collection of books, and he started a library. He opened a hospital and one of the first colleges in the USA.
So you can see he had many different professions. So the first one, inventor, then also scientist. He liked to be in his labor and to try something new. Then an author, to make books. A journalist, a librarian, a book editor, and a printer.
Okay. When we say printer, he actually used to print books. Today it's very easy to click a button and take everything on a printer. But in the olden days, there was no machines, there was no electronics. So you had to print books by hand. Okay, so it was a very difficult profession.
So here's some inventions. So Franklin created the bifocal glasses when he was 78. He was old and had trouble seeing both up close and far away. You can see, you can make sure that he could see by distance and by reading.
So here is one of his most important inventions, and we still use this today. So very tall buildings, at the top of the building is a metallic piece which is called a lightning rod. And if lightning strikes, then the lightning rod absorbs all the electricity and sends it into the ground. Okay? So this prevents other buildings or trees from catching the lightning or fire, you know. So the lightning rod is a very, very important invention of its time, even used today.
In the past, many villages will be like on fire because there were no lightning rod, and since then, less fire on the villages.
So he also invented his own musical instrument called the harmonica. And if we go to the next, in a few slides, we will show you a video of the harmonica as well. So yeah.
The Franklin stove. So the Franklin stove was used to heat rooms. Its design allowed heat to stay in the room while sucking all of the smoke out. Because imagine if you have the fire, and then the smoke comes in the house. But with this invention, you could make sure that the smoke goes out the house and keep the room warm. So here the music from Benjamin Franklin, the instrument.
Voila, one of Franklin's favorite inventions. So these are all basically custom blown wine glasses, and they're all nested inside of each other, and the whole assembly is turning so you can play it somewhat piano-like. So here's a little bit from the Lucia. And Mozart also wrote some music for it. Here's a bit of a solo piece that he wrote.
So welcome back from the video. And now here we have the thinking tool for you, which is a diagram. So what you have to do is write down Benjamin Franklin, draw the best caricature picture that you can, and then write down 3 interesting facts. Tell us 3 of the professions he had, and tell us 3 contributions or inventions that he made. And don't just write one word, write the full thing. So don't write lightning rod. Write lightning rod and what does the lightning rod do. Okay, write harmonica and tell us what the harmonica is. Okay, so don't write one word. Try to use the grammar lessons we do on Friday to write full sentences. Okay.
So write the vocabulary from the lesson in English and try to find the meaning in Thai on your notebook.
And then complete the lessons. Mostly the lessons are taking down points from the videos. And finally, draw the diagram of Benjamin Franklin and his contributions and inventions on an A4 size paper. Okay, and when you finish it, bring it back to school and we'll check it for you.
Okay, see you for the next lesson.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.